Hello, and welcome to the English department. We'd like to just talk about your options for the next few years in English classes. Keep in mind this one thing as you make decisions and as we work together to make a good placement for you in the next few years. And that is, we really want to make sure you're in a class that's really the best fit for you at that time, and that you'll be able to succeed in whatever class you decide to take. The other thing to keep in mind as we make placement decisions and as we progress through the next few years is that ours is not a tracked system. So if you decide that you'd like to take an AP course your junior year or your senior year, you can. You do not have to be in a feeder class in order to do that. You can go in and out of college preparatory, interdisciplinary, AP or honors classes all the rest of your high school career. So I'd just like to alleviate any fear that you might have about that. So what does the process look like? All students in grades 10, 11, 12 will be placed in the college preparatory class unless they indicate an interest in taking either an interdisciplinary course, an AP, or an honors course. That consists really of a form that you fill out along with the writing sample that we ask you to produce for us. Why do we ask you to do that? Because in most of the AP and honors classes, you will be writing on demand or in a time circumstance. So we want to make sure to see how you operate under those circumstances. So next week during midterm exams, we're going to ask all students to write an essay during their midterm exam time. This will not be graded for your class. It's just a way for us to have a writing sample that we can use as one of the three indicators or prerequisites that we might use if you decide that you would like to explore either an honors or an AP course. So all students will complete that. These essays will then be collected and sorted, and they will be blind graded by two English teachers. Why do we do that? We do that so that nobody knows whose papers are whose, and we can give a fair assessment. The fact that two English teachers would be reviewing your paper is also further indication that we want to make sure that we get an accurate assessment of that essay. Most successful candidates who want to take AP or honors classes will complete two of the three prerequisites. Those prerequisites, once again, are timed writing sample, grades that you get in your previous class or classes, and then the department recommendation, which would be multiple teachers kind of conversing about your abilities and interests and work ethic in classes taken previously. So the choice and range of courses you can take over the next 4 years grows as you become more competent. So 9th grade English, we have a heterogeneous group. You don't have to make any choices about honors or regular or interdisciplinary or AP. Everybody's together. In 10th grade, you have the choice of a regular college preparatory class or an honors class. In the 11th grade, you have three choices. You have an interdisciplinary course, which is American Studies. You have American Literature, or you have AP Language. Those are three levels and three different ways of approaching language that year. Your senior year, you also have three choices. You have AP Literature, you have Honors Humanities, which is the interdisciplinary choice, and you have your regular college prep class, which is senior English. Congratulations, rising seniors. You've made it to your last year of high school. We'd like to talk to you about your options for English class this year. And Dr. Bulger, would you like to begin?
Sure. Your first option is Senior English, which is a college preparatory class, and it's a workshop style class. So what that means is that we're reading and writing together every day. The reading that you'll do in Senior English includes books of your choosing, book club books that you'll read with a group of other students, and whole class text that we'll read all together. You can expect to have at least 2 hours of reading a week in this class. Our writing will include the analysis essays and argument essays with which you're already familiar, but we'll be adding in narrative writing informative writing, and even digital composition.
Your next option is an interdisciplinary one, just like you had your junior year, that option. This is the Honors Humanities class. One question I always get when people ask about humanities is, what is humanities? So it's a course where we explored the traditional humanities. So those would be, art, music, history, literature. And essentially we're trying to make connections between all those things rather than separating them out. So that's what the humanities course will focus on. Creativity and exploration are hallmarks of this class. You have a variety of texts. Some of them are visual, some of them are poetic, some of them are historical, some of them are fiction. So you have a wide variety of texts. We do read at a pretty fast clip in there, maybe 2 or 3 texts per quarter. And you'll find that at the end of each quarter there will be a project. In the first semester, those projects are written and performance-based, and in the second semester, those projects are art and performance-based. So just to give you a heads up about that, one thing you should probably keep in mind if you're taking this course, the humanities course requires about 30 to 40 minutes of preparation each night. So that's your interdisciplinary option for your senior year. Your AP option for the senior year is AP Literature. This is a college level class taught in high school, and you could get college credit for it if you do well on the exam in May. The topic of this course is literature, stating the obvious, fiction, and poetry. A lot of people ask, what's the difference between AP Lang and AP Lit? AP Lit is really the focus on literary analysis and critical reading. That's a fancy way of saying we're focusing on the how and whys of writing as opposed to the who, what, where, when. That's expected that you would get that without any instruction. So students become accustomed to this kind of critical reading and writing. In discussion, we do critical reading every day, close reading practice of poetry at the beginning of every class, and we have an essay every 2 weeks or so. If you take this class, just be aware that the expectation is about 45 minutes a night. You have weekly assignments that are due and daily assignments, so you have to kind of learn to juggle those assignments accordingly, kind of like what you have to do in college. So that's what you can expect if you take AP Lit. We hope you have a good time your senior year, but we also hope that you learn a lot.